Step 12. Living the message. You have to give it away in order to keep it. Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to alcoholics and to practice these principles in all our affairs. Step 12 is where transformation becomes a lifestyle. From a cognitive perspective, this step represents integration and service, where all the insights and growth from the previous steps begin to generalize into everyday life. It's about anchoring your new identity through consistent action and reinforcing recovery through purposeful connection with others. The first part, having had a spiritual awakening, reflects a cognitive and emotional shift. In CBT terms, this is identity restructuring. We no longer define ourselves by past labels like failure or hopeless. Instead, we see ourselves as people who have changed and continue to grow. A spiritual awakening might include increased self-awareness, revised core beliefs, I am worthy, I with purpose, and a deepened sense of internal peace. These shifts drive sustained behavioral change. Carrying this message means sharing the recovery process with others. CBT highlights that teaching and supporting others reinforces our own learning. When we guide someone through recovery, we practice empathy, sharpen our own to our commitment. Helping others breaks the cycle of isolation and self-absorption, which are common relapse triggers. It also builds a social support system, one of the strongest buffers against relapse. The final piece, to practice these principles in all our affairs, is about generalization, a core CBT concept. It means applying what we've learned beyond meetings or therapy into work, relationships, parenting, and daily challenges. Recovery is no longer compartmentalized. It becomes a way of life. We live not just with sobriety, but with integrity, emotional clarity, and intention. Tools that support Step 12 include relapse prevention plans, based behavior tracking, and continued community involvement. Mentoring or sponsoring others not only builds resilience, it confirms to ourselves that we're living what we believe. We become role models not by being perfect, but by being consistent. In daily practice, Step 12 means supporting others without rescuing them. Share and show up without trying to control outcomes. We apply recovery principles across settings. We check ourselves for ego, fear, or dishonesty. And we keep learning, because recovery is dynamic and the brain thrives on growth and challenge. Step 12 reminds us that healing becomes permanent when it is shared and lived. It's not the end of the journey, it's the beginning of a deeper one. From a CBT standpoint, we've changed how we think, how we act, and now we sustain that by showing others the path and living it ourselves. Finally, Step 12, the path has taken me from wreckage to renewal, and now I share it, not with lectures or slogans, but by showing up, by being present, by reminding someone else that they're not alone, that they're not broken, that recovery is possible. My sponsor taught me that helping others is the surest way to keep growing. In CBT terms, it's behavioral reinforcement through service. We teach, we give, and in doing so, we remember who we are. The journey continues, never perfect, but always real. If I want to complete Step 12, carrying the message to other alcoholics and practicing these principles in all my affairs, I need to share my experience. Honestly, help others without expecting anything in return, and live the values of recovery in every part of my life, not just in meetings.